When we get out of bed every morning,
Yes.
only one thing is on our mind. Can you tell? Being here by 7 and ready to go, just like today.
Definitely, and that's because we know how important it is for your morning to start off on a fantastic note.
That's right. Yeah. And a new day means we're about to create new memories, new experiences.
Beautiful moments.
Yes.
And definitely the hallmark of what we do here. And of course, set excellence every morning just for you.
That's right. Welcome to what promises to be another amazing edition of Wonder Women Wednesday on Wake Up Nigeria.
Definitely. It is no longer news that Wake Up Nigeria is a hub of pretty ladies. And of course, we have looking ravishing in the kitchen, as always.
You just have to put the French accent.
Thank you, darling. You remind me of a beautiful elf. I'm liking that touch of Valentine.
Yes, you know now.
Yeah.
You know, we have to bring it in
today, darling.
Don't worry, I wasn't up to any mischief. I'm not setting a trap for win premises. I just have to do something behind.
How are you ladies doing this
We're
morning?
good, we're good.
Good,
We're great.
really good. All right, so we have quite the show for you this morning.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey. It means a lot to us.
Yes.
And because we like nothing more than engaging with you, we have the Wake Up Nigeria cookouts coming later this month. Like, my goodness, the entries, amazing stuff.
Definitely, and that's absolutely correct. It's cooking competition, right? And it is definitely not for the professionals. It's for the amateurs, right? And enthusiasts. And definitely, if you emerge winner, you definitely will be going home with one cool 100,000 naira. Not a Raz one.
How many liters
cool
of
one.
food would that? Okay, so moving on. I'm actually looking forward to this. And, you know, when we talk about cookouts and the rest, most of you watch the show. You admire what's going on. Yeah, come and show us that you can cook.
Definitely.
Enough of all this. See what this chef cooked. This looks good. Come and show us and make money in the process.
Yes,
100,000. Okay, I was about to say dollars, but no. Let's take it easy now. Well, we don't think that this is bad for a day's job, especially because we'll be providing everything.
Absolutely.
As in everything you will be needing to make your meal. So, keep those entries pouring in,
Definitely.
Maybe I'll even pick a few people.
I mean,
yes.
you know
So be nice to me.
Okay, so for right now, let's get into what we have for the show today. So we definitely will kick off things with relationship, where we'll be discussing Valentine's Day and how it affects our mental health. Very important. With Dr. Tolokwe Okoigare, who is a couples and sex therapist, mental health practitioner, and clinical therapist. And of course, for nutrition, we have Adonia Abdullahi, a certified integrative nutrition coach and the founder of Optimum Foodie, which is an innovative nutrition and fitness company. She will be highlighting some truths about honey and other natural sweeteners. I'm not looking forward to that one. And of course, we'll be having a conversation with Sil, who is a singer-songwriter and guitarist who loves telling stories about love and life through her songs. Such a...
So first off, I just want to appreciate the elf that came for Valentine.
Yes.
You know, we usually see elves during Christmas, but this elf decided to grace the studio this Christmas. I love your outfit. You know, I told you earlier in the makeup studio that I really, really love your outfit.
Thank you.
No jokes about it.
Thank you.
It's gorgeous.
I mean, you know.
What?
Yeah.
So what
That's what I
it
wanted
reminds
to
me
say,
of
yeah.
is Alice in Wonderland. You're about to go down the rabbit hole. Yeah, and then a lot of people go down the rabbit hole and they can't find their way out.
Don't let's
my
go there.
favorite character in Alice in Wonderland?
Who?
The villain.
The villain? Which one?
I can't remember her name. She had a really funny poker face kind of look.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Oh, that's the Queen of Hearts.
Queen of Hearts.
Yes,
Yeah, I
Queen
love
of
her.
Hearts.
I love her.
Because of her
Yes, I relate. I can totally relate with that character.
So
I love
she,
her.
yeah,
also
off with his head kind of mentality.
Oh, with his head.
Yes.
I love it.
And that is actually a mentality some people have had to actually go with, especially if they begin to run their own business. Especially when women are running their own business. They say the women are too tough. They say they get angry all the time. But the truth is, in order to get, you know, far in business, you have to sometimes off with your head, like get rid of some people from your team.
Experience recently with a customer.
Okay.
She reached out to me. Okay, I would like to make this particular dress for this amount, and I'm like, okay, I can give you 4. Okay, she wants to make a kimono set for 10,000.
Wow.
I'm charging her 10,000. But she's saying that she wants to do it. She's hoping that if she makes 3, she can get a discount. So, okay, so I'm like, okay, I'll charge you 28,500. And she was actually hoping it would be 25,000.
Okay.
Well, the reality is people will price. If you cannot give it to them, you tell them, will it work? But if you can, hey, it's called, is it customer relations or suffer yourself? Sorry, I don't know that word.
Thanks so much for staying with us. It's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. We're staying with the President Muhammadu Buhari's request to the National Assembly with our first story for the approval of 2.5 trillion naira for subsidy in an extra budget proposal to lawmakers. The amended proposal is now with the National Assembly. The amendment proposal is contained in a 6-page letter sent to the House of Representatives as at yesterday.
29 and clause 30. Those in favor that the 2022 budget framework has been revised to fully provide for PMS subsidy. An additional provision of 2.557 trillion naira will be required to fund the petroleum subsidy in 2022. Consequently, the Federation account main pool revenue for the 3 tiers of government is projected to decline by 2 trillion naira, while federal government's share from the account is projected to reduce by 1.05 trillion naira.
In the letter, President Buhari asked the National Assembly to approve the sum of 2.557 trillion naira supplementary budget for petrol subsidy from July to December 2022. Senate President Ahmad Lawan and the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, read the letter in their respective chambers. In the letter, President Buhari said the amendment is necessary to accommodate some issues in the country, including petroleum subsidy, which must be considered. Meanwhile, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, Accountant General of the Federation, Ahmed Idris, the head of the service of the Federation, Folashade Yemi Esson, and the Auditor General for the Federation, Adolphus Agugu, are to appear before the Joint Committee of the House of Representatives on Anti-Corruption and Public Service Matters. Others are the chairman of Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, Bolaji Owasonoye, the Chief Executive Officer, Federal Character Commission, Mahib Dankaka. They were summoned by the lawmakers following the failure of the heads of MDAs to honor the committee's invitation to an investigative hearing. Deputy Chairman of the Committee on Anti-Corruption, Dachong Bagos, said the Joint Committee will not hesitate to take further action if the heads of agencies fail to heed the summons. The national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, has congratulated the Otun Olubadan of Ibadan, Senator Lekan Balogun, over his appointment as the new Olubadan of Ibadan land and elevation to the zenith of leadership institutions in the land. In a statement by his media office in Lagos, the APC national leader adds that the beauty of the rich and highly appreciated traditional hierarchical leadership structure of Ibadan land has again affirmed itself. Asiwaju Tinubu expressed confidence that the new monarch will deploy his tremendous skills and rich understanding of traditional institution to promote peace and stability in Ibadan land, Oyo State, and Nigeria as a whole. And that's all we have time for this hour when it comes to the news.
And we are back. It's time for us to go through the front pages of the newspaper. And this morning we are starting with the Daily Sun, making the headlines here on 2023, North Central deserves president, says Bello. And making the headlines here, fuel landing cost rises to 307 naira as Buhari seeks fresh 2.5 trillion naira subsidy. And you can find more of that story on the Daily Sun newspaper. And we move on to the Nigerian Tribune. Making the headlines here on Kiari Gates, police NDLEA may clash over indicted officials. On the riders here, agency won't probe allegations. It's red herring, says NDLEA. And investigators grill Kiari others. And IGP's IRT SRS satellite units not disbanded, says investigations. And that's all we can take on the front pages this morning.
Things are happening.
Crazy things are happening. Crazy things are happening.
Well, after Valentine's Day, yeah, all the goons come out. And why do you say that? Because for those ladies who received gifts and those who didn't, you know, hey, some received it and didn't really like it. But then
At least you received.
That one happens, Abby.
At least you received.
Abby,
Did you receive anything? Let's talk about what we received.
Why?
What did you get?
Why do you want to talk about what?
I just want to know, like me, I did not receive anything, and I'm not ashamed to say it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not really big on Valentine.
Okay, can we go, people? Yeah, so like I said, interesting things happened over the weekend, spanning into today. So recently, we actually caught up on the story where a certain guy was caught or was actually assaulted for chatting with a politician's wife on social media. So this guy reached out to her on Facebook, and then, you know, the conversation ensued where, you know, started asking her out, and then the wife, you know, showed those messages to her husband. Her husband now said, okay, you know, string him along. And she did, till the meeting point where he was supposed to come and meet with her, and then they got him.
Did he know she was married?
In the conversation,
that's a very valid question.
She knew who she was, because she actually made it very clear, even in their conversation. There's you know, she actually there's evidence of their chats. She actually mentioned, she told, you do know who I am. Wow. Bobo said yes.
That's actually probably the reason why.
I like his confidence, though.
So, I mean, you know, there is a particular market where, you know, there's a particular market for that kind of activity, and maybe he thought she was in the market for someone like him.
Very true. Because, you know, the truth is, things like this happen. It's going to be the first situation. Just because, okay, fine, this particular one is a politician's wife, and she showed her husband. Do you understand? Like, these things happen regularly. I'm sure some of us here have some people in our
in our what? In your what? No. In our what? No, specific. In your what? So we can understand.
You don't understand. If you don't get it,
I will not forget about
it. But it does go to show that there are a lot of people out there looking for love, in quotes, or looking for attention, in quotes.
Definitely.
And the way you respond to them is very, very important. You know, the truth is, the fact that she showed her husband is the only reason why the guy got caught.
Actually,
if, for instance, she didn't show him anything, how do you know? Yeah.
No, but you'd be surprised. Some men have people watching their wives, especially politicians. You'd be amazed. So there's this thing there. Some people actually go after certain people's wives for certain reasons. Either so as to use the woman against him, or political detractors and all. And then, you know, there are so many people talking about what happened to the guy, how he was being beaten up and all. If now woman, no go I'm just saying.
Was it right for him to be publicly assaulted, though? You know, so
assault is still assault.
I'm saying assault is assault.
Okay,
it's still against the law.
Yeah, but you know how these things are when men are involved, men are very, when it comes to their women, they can be very protective.
Possessive.
is the word.
There's a huge difference.
I don't want to use that word, but they can be very protective. So another man coming into their space, whether they are romantically involved or emotionally involved with this said partner they're in a relationship with, it really doesn't matter. Immediately that man has come into their space, they feel defensive, and if I'm not saying it's justified.
My hope is that he's clear, Sha.
Yeah.
Because you cannot be beating another man because he's talking to your wife.
Meanwhile, you're also having a conversation with someone else.
And then you have some conversations ongoing with some women.
Definitely.
Plural.
Unfortunately, we are not in that space. We are in a patriarchal society where
the space where
you know something. We are in a patriarchal society because we allow it.
Exactly.
No, it's not even because it's too long, because we allow it. There are several things that are happening today that have already stopped taking place because women said, you know what, enough is enough. So for as long as we keep accepting it, I keep hearing this thing, there's nothing you can do about it. Now so we meet them for life. Now so we live them for life. Everybody gets to choose their own path. So what works for one person, what someone else might swallow, cook like a singer, somebody else might not.
And now let me paint this situation, right? I just did a quick swap in my head. If it was a situation where a woman finds out her husband is literally having something else with someone, she approaches a lady and maybe they get into a fight in public, we will not be saying,
we will not be saying,
she's not.
Is that not what I said initially? I said if it was a woman, we would not be this will not be the
conversation. So, yeah.
Anyways, if you are a young man out there looking for a sugar mommy, you need to tread carefully.
He's a married man, according to what
I'm
they said.
talking of this whether you are single, whether you are married, don't go encroaching into territories.
He was literally looking for a job.
Yeah, exactly.
If we look at his property,
so you need to
job he was looking for.
Encroach carefully. We have to go on a break now, people. Thanks for joining us. There's still so much more. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Nigeria, and I'm right here in the kitchen with Chef Blossom. First of all, how did you spend your Valentine's Day? She didn't expect it. She didn't see it coming.
Okay, I was working all through. I had some clients I had to cook for.
Oh, yes. So you were making romantic dishes,
you know, for people.
Wow. Okay, don't worry. My God, I did it for them. We'll do it for you too. Okay, so tell me, what are we making here today?
Okay, so we're having fluffy pancakes. Plain vanilla fluffy pancakes.
Plain vanilla fluffy pancakes, and for that we'll be needing some eggs, some sugar, some nutmeg, buttermilk, vanilla extract, baking powder, and all-purpose flour.
Yes.
Okay, so now I heard about a certain type of flour. I can't remember what it's called, but they say it's, I don't know, it has air inside or something like that. Have you heard about it?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's one flour shot like that that they say is better for baking. But anyways, so we're here. So we have the normal, regular flour, and okay, so now tell me what roles these ingredients actually play in this recipe.
First, I'm going to teach you a hack.
Please teach
how to make your buttermilk. You saw it on the screen.
Okay.
For that, we'll be using our milk. Sorry, it's not here on this plate. We're using our milk and some lemon.
Okay, I was wondering what the lemon was for.
What was for, yes.
Yeah.
You know, this fluffiness you have in pancakes, that's a hack, that's a secret to getting that.
Okay.
So you could either use lemon or vinegar.
Oh, nice. So actually the lemon juice, right?
Yes, lemon juice.
Awesome.
What you need is the acid and the milk.
And the milk.
Mix it with buttermilk.
And that's it.
That's it.
Oh, awesome, awesome. Because I normally, when I hear buttermilk, I usually think like the already pre-made one.
No.
Oh,
you can
nice.
make it from the scratch.
From scratch. Awesome. Okay, so I noticed some nutmeg too. Is that also going in?
Yes. I'll grate them just for flavor.
For flavor. Okay, and of course we have butter. Is this a particular type of butter or it's just any butter?
Margarine.
Margarine?
Yes.
Okay.
So we get them melted and allowed to cool before using it for this recipe. And also we're going to be using it for the panettone of the pancake.
Okay, great. And of course we have our eggs and of course our sugar. And what's that? Baking
powder.
Baking powder. Awesome. Okay, so now how do we start? Where do we start from?
Okay, we also have our honey. This is for garnishing at the end of the whole thing.
In place of syrup,
so we have
right?
in place of syrup.
Yeah.
If you want to use honey, you could use any kind of
sweetener
you want. Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Okay.
So we'll start by, this is measured. We have 3 cups of flour in here. So for 3 cups, you might not want to make so much because this should give us like about, let's say, 8 pancakes.
8 pancakes?
8 to 10 pancakes.
Nice.
So,
thin or thick?
Fluffy.
Fluffy, okay.
Yes. So you want, if you don't want to use it, you could just divide
it into 2.
Into 2.
Awesome.
So
okay.
For 3 cups of flour, use 2 eggs, okay? Use 2 eggs. You might want to use sugar or not. It's optional. Then vanilla, if it's optional as well. Then our baking powder. So we'll start by just mixing the flour, the dry ingredients first.
Dry ingredients together.
Yes,
Yes. And of course, wet ingredients together.
Yes.
Awesome. So now for those just joining us, we're making pancakes. And all we need to make pancakes today, we have eggs, our sugar, our nutmeg, buttermilk, vanilla extract, baking soda, all-purpose flour, and literally that's about it, okay? So we'll allow Chef Blossom get into her magic right here in the kitchen. And right about now, we have a guest from Like a Pint Tropicana on the couch with Mary. Mary, over to you.
Thank you very much, Winfrey. It's time for us to have a very interesting conversation. Now, you're probably wondering what this is about. I'm going to tell you. But first, let me let you know that we are joined by Abidemi Adeboye. He is the Group Manager for Continent Building Initiative, under which La Campagne Tropicana Forest River Beach Resort is a member. You cannot tell me you haven't heard about that. But it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so La Campagne Tropicana. There's so much to talk about that company. But, you know, we're still in the season of love, and there is no doubt that there are lots of activities and packages for couples. So let's start from there. What packages, like what other packages does the resort have besides the whole Valentine lovers package and all? What other packages does the resort have?
Okay, thank you very much. So La Campagne Tropicana, we're for everybody, for the young, for the old, for individuals, couples, for groups, and for corporates. So there's something for everyone, and for every group that I've mentioned, there is something unique for you. So we have like a honeymoon package for newlyweds. We have golden moon for people celebrating their anniversaries. We have
golden moon.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So we have vacation for date visitors. You just want to come in and spend the day and go.
Vacation.
Yeah, vacation.
Wow. I like the names.
Yeah. So then we have for the corporates, we have retreats and bonding sessions. We have for NGOs, we have for associations, so people want to get together and have fun. So what we do basically is to create an environment for you to have fun and expose you to the African culture, fashion, music, dance, and all that in a very serene environment.
Okay, so I know you have all of these packages. However, there are 3 that I'm actually really particular about. What, I'd really like you to tell us more about CAER,
okay,
YATE, and I think the third one is Camp Africa.
Camp Africa. Okay,
tell us about those 3.
Okay, so CAER stands for Corporate Africa Eco Retreat. Okay. So basically, it's just a platform for corporates to
organizations,
bond, you know, to promote team spirit amongst their employees.
Yeah.
So basically, they want to have a retreat outside distraction. So you want to be in a place where there's no distraction. You can strategize for the year and plan and, you know, have full attention of all your staff. So that's basically CAER is basically a platform for corporates to bond and have their retreat sessions. Okay. So that's
what about YATE?
So YATE is
you call it YATE?
YATE, yes, we call it YATE.
Okay.
So it's basically Youth African Tour Expedition.
Okay.
So it's basically a platform to expose our youth to the African culture, fashion, music, and dance. Wow. So basically what we do is to take them on a tour, and during the tour they get exposed to the African culture. So I decided to take a group to along the slave trade route. Or maybe
so it's not limited to just the resort?
No, not there.
Okay,
so that we have different destinations. So, you know, while taking you on those destinations, we come across different cities, ethnic groups, and all that. So you get exposed to their culture, you get exposed to their food, their fashion, and all that. So it's a way of integrating the African culture in our youth.
Wow. So what then is Camp Africa? But wait, before you answer that, is YATE limited to just Nigeria?
No,
or
no,
you
it's
go
not. We have destinations all over Africa.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Camp Africa then?
So Camp Africa is an educational project. It's for students in the in our institutions, primary, secondary, tertiary.
Okay.
So what it does is to, with camp students, maybe during the summer holidays or any of the holidays. So what we do is to teach them African culture, African fashion, African music, art, and dance, and all that. Then we also teach them capacity building, entrepreneurship skills, and a lot of things. So they get exposed to all that during that period. So that's the whole idea of that Camp Africa.
Now, for those wondering, especially if you saw one or two people you know very well, what you were watching while he was speaking was actually TVC members actually having fun at La Campagne Tropicana Beach Resort. We did that just some weeks ago, nice. Bonding, team bonding, more like the CAER, should be the CAER. We had a great time. We had a fantastic time. And then that brings me to the next question. What is the inspiration for these packages in the grand scheme of things?
Okay, so the inspiration for the package is to basically to create an environment for people to have fun.
Okay.
So basically you're having fun and you're being exposed to the African culture, African music, African dance, food.
Food. You get me in that one.
So we create that environment to have fun.
Is it just African food or you serve continental dishes as well?
Yeah, we try to be African.
Even
but
with the
can
continental
customize
dishes.
where necessary. We can customize, but we try to be African.
Wow,
so
that's
because
really nice.
we're an African-themed resort.
Okay.
So basically it's around the African food.
Now, many people who have been to several resorts in Nigeria, in Africa, all over the world, will probably be wondering, what is it that differentiates La Campagne Tropicana from every other resort?
Okay, thank you very much.
What is unique to your company?
Okay, so La Campagne is not just, we're not just a beach resort. We're forest, river, and beach resort.
Forest, river, and beach resort. Oh, wow.
So forest means that we have a forest where you have a white sand forest. You know, typically your forest, you have black sand that would ordinarily stain your face when you get. So our forest is white.
Wow,
white sand.
That's unique.
Yeah. So and our forest has we have black and white mangrove forest.
Okay.
We have a lagoon. There's a lagoon. There's an ocean, and we have the longest pool in the world. Wow. I'm sure you saw that when you visited. We have the longest pool in the world. And our swimming pool, so you have our chalets have indoor swimming pools.
Wow.
And there's a particular pool that has a tree growing inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So these are things
these are very unique things about us.
Visiting
Then interestingly about us is that we try to promote the African culture. So I'm sure you noticed that a lot of our facilities have like the African mats, the ankara, the mods, and all those things. So part of what we're doing again is to promote the cottage industry. So it means that I'm empowering the adire maker, I'm empowering the mod maker, and all that. So now chalets are made with, you see that a lot of them have mod, the normal African mod. So, but when you go inside, you see that cosmopolitan touch in our resort.
Cool. That's cool. That's amazing.
So,
and you know, okay, please go ahead.
Okay, so a lot of other things you can find is we have water sports. You have your boat cruise. You have kayaking. You have a lot of things.
All of these in your resort.
In our resort, yes. Wow. And what we also do to entertain our guests is we have a group called Atunda Entertainment.
Atunda
Entertainment. So Atunda Entertainment, what it does is to promote young talents, people who have talents in maybe music or movies or dance and all that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so interestingly, one of our brands called Lo Omidon Bata just dropped a single called Gil Gil, and it's been trending all over the radio stations.
Wow, that's amazing.
So I think you should also listen to that.
Yeah, I will. I definitely will. Okay, so this brings me to something. We are learning a whole lot more about La Campagne Tropicana. However, there's something I heard about, and you know this is media. When you hear rumors, you have to get confirmation. So it's good for me to hear it from the horse's mouth. There's this rumor flying that there's another branch of La Campagne Resort. Is it true?
Yeah, very correct.
It's very correct. So when can we start visiting now?
No, you can visit immediately.
Oh,
okay,
wow.
So we're opening at Oniru. So we're coming to the heart of the city.
Where?
Oniru.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that's a lot closer.
Yeah, so aside from Oniru, we're also opening in the first quarter of this year. We're going to be opening in Ondo State.
Okay.
In Ondo. We're opening Kotonkafi, that's in Kogi State. Wow. And we're also going to some African countries. So we're expanding aggressively.
Wow,
so
that's amazing. I'm actually really pleased to hear all of this.
Yeah.
And I will definitely continue this conversation because I have so many questions to ask about
Black and Fine Tropicana.
I can bet that. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank
you so much. Let's take this break. Wake Up Nigeria continues.
And we are back. Yes, you're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. And yes, we're on to our nutrition segment, and today we have with us Odunayo Abdullah. She's a certified integrative nutrition coach and the founder of Optimum Foodie, which is an innovative nutrition and fitness company. And today we will be talking about truths about honey and other natural sweeteners. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for being here. It's always a delight to have you join us. Now let's get right into it. Honey. Now I hear people say, no, I don't use sugar. I use honey.
Yeah.
Just add a little bit of honey for me. Honey,
it's almost a style thing now, right?
Break this table. Break it.
Now, obviously, everybody wants to eat healthier. Yes, we all know that's fine and great. But then the substituting directly sugar for honey, and we think like it's better, and we feel like, oh yeah, I'm avoiding the sugar altogether. It's actually not true. So let's break it down this way. What is in sugar? Sugar is made up of two sugars. It's made up of fructose. It's basically sucrose. It's a mixture of glucose and fructose, which is still sugar. And then what is actually in honey is that it has a lot of fructose and then a small amount of glucose. But the point is, it's still the same elements that are in them. So when you take honey, if you are diabetic, for example, your blood sugar will still go up. Right? In terms of our fit, firm, weight loss people, the calories are still very similar. So a tablespoon of granulated regular table sugar is about 16 calories. A tablespoon of, teaspoon of granulated sugar is 16 calories. A teaspoon of honey is 21. So when you do that switch and you feel like, yes, and then because we feel like, oh, it's 0 calorie, then you feel like you can use it, you just carry the bottle and just drizzle.
And drizzle on it. Oh, I'm
right? Without like any caution because you feel like, you're good. We have to understand something. When something is natural, it doesn't just automatically mean that it is better or that it's just automatically 0 calorie. We make that mistake. When something is healthy, then we just feel like I can eat as plenty as I like. Yeah. It's not always, actually a lot of times, it's not actually true. So people just need to be careful. And there are many other alternatives. There was a time that, you talk about honey, the time was date syrup. When date syrup landed, I was everywhere. It was like this new, I don't know. And I'm like, you guys realize it's pretty much the same thing as honey, firstly.
Okay, now before we move on to another sweetener, why do you think why do you think health experts advise for people to use honey?
So here's the thing. I don't necessarily think health experts are the ones that are advising it. I think when the idea of something being natural has just tended to appeal to us, and personally, I feel like we have kind of carried it on our head because there's no health expert, at least nutrition experts, that would tell you that honey is like extremely better than sugar. Now, so people use the argument that, oh, because it's natural, it has some trace elements, and because like white sugar is just the sugar, there's no nutrients in there. But the thing is, if you take honey in the amount you're supposed to be taking it, because we already established that you shouldn't be taking it in large amounts, right? If you take it in the amount you're supposed to be taking it, those elements, those nutrients that you're talking about, it's so tiny that it has no significant benefit.
Wow.
Like, so the word we use is trace. If you know what trace means,
just in
it's
like
very tiny.
Yeah.
Very, very tiny that before you can get the benefits from those nutrients, you then have to take large amounts of the honey for the nutrients in it to then make sense.
So
but if you take large amounts, it then doesn't make sense.
Okay, so how little of honey should we
be taking?
use?
There's no specific amount, right?
Okay.
But generally speaking, so let's use like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something. Really more than 2 teaspoons you have started to overdo it. Because, I mean, 2 teaspoons is already 42 calories.
Yeah.
3 teaspoons is already 63.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just kind of starts climbing. And especially if you're someone, especially for people that do a lot, so people that do like 4 cups of tea, 5 cups of, they're like tea people or coffee people. So imagine if you're repeatedly doing
The same,
you know,
taking in the same quantity.
you start realizing, so we're doing a tablespoon, for example, that's 60 calories, times 4 cups of tea in one day. Very easily, you've done like 250
All right, so quickly,
calories
let's
from
move on
this
to
honey.
another sweetener.
So date syrup is another popular one.
Okay.
And it became very popular. When it became very popular, people were using it in teas as well. But another place it became very popular was in drinks. So things like your tiger nut drink, things like your zobo drink. It became very popular then. And so when I go to supermarkets, people were like, oh, you're just shopping around. Someone tell you, no, buy this, don't worry.
Syrup,
We didn't use sugar, it's just date syrup. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's pretty much the same thing. And then you taste it and it's so sweet. So I know that they used a lot of this date syrup. And calories are similar with honey, which is actually higher than sugar. So you're like, no, you're not necessarily making things better here.
You're basically telling us, just stick to your sugar. Don't try to be...
small amount. I know some people like the flavor. You know, honey has a flavor.
Yeah,
and that's fine. And
I don't like it,
you can
actually.
decide. I personally don't really like it either, but some people love it. So if you're going to do it because, okay, I like the flavor of honey, not because you think, oh, I'm saving on calories
option.
or my blood sugar will be better controlled. No. Even if you're doing honey, the same mindset you have with sugar, where you know you're being mindful, you're being careful, carry that same attitude. So whether it's honey, there's date syrup, there's agave nectar now. So
what did you call it?
Agave nectar.
Agave nectar.
The Fit Farm people know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I mean, they sound really expensive. Agave nectar, really?
Right, but it's pretty much, no, you're not making a lot of difference when you do those switches.
But you're not giving us an option. There has to be something to
You
sweeten.
can do them, but honestly, you just need to not do as much. Now, if you're a sweet tooth and you feel like, okay, if I do 1 or 2 teaspoons of honey or sugar, it's not going to be enough. You can do a low-calorie sweetener. Now, so low-calorie sweeteners, I'm talking about the canderels, I'm talking about stevia. But then people are like, oh, no, I think it causes cancer or something. It's actually not true. So that's another fear people have because like, oh, is that artificial
Say it again
sweeteners.
quickly because we need to wrap this up.
Canderel. There's stevia. There's another popular one called Equal. They are.
They're okay. We're not supposed to mention brand names. But you could,
But stevia is a popular. Stevia is the name of a plant. So that one is not a brand name.
Okay.
So that's currently the only natural.
This conversation has to continue on social media. Looking for more sweetening options for your meal? Please reach out to
at Optimum Foodie.
At Optimum Foodie. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for this enlightening session.
I'm glad that it was.
We have to head over to the kitchen now where we're standing by with Chef Blossom.
Okay, so now welcome back to the kitchen. So in their conversation, they were talking about honey and sugar as sweeteners, or rather honey instead of sugar as a sweetener. And today we're using honey and sugar. So you know how you eat the pancake.
I said the sugar is optional.
It's optional, yeah, you don't have to. You don't want to. So yeah, I mean, ingredients are obviously multiplied. So tell me, what exactly do we have here right now? And in case you're just joining us, we're actually making pancakes.
Fluffy pancakes.
Fluffy pancakes, yeah, nothing too crazy. And of course, the ingredients are right there on your screen. We have some eggs, some sugar, some nutmeg, some buttermilk, vanilla extract, baking powder, and all-purpose flour. Okay, so where are we?
Okay, so we had our butter in its mold earlier.
Okay.
So for this recipe, you want to have your melted butter. I had to do this on the show so you get to see the result,
what
how
it looks like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So
golden.
Yes.
Yes.
And very light.
Yes.
So if you're to make this at home, of course, make sure you put it in the refrigerator, in the fridge, so it get cold. We need the melted butter cold.
I want to get coagulated again. But not too cold.
Too cold. Just give it that chill feel.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Okay, and then we also have my lemon.
Oh, so now what do we want to do? Are we creating
Yes, want to create our buttermilk.
Buttermilk. Okay, let's do that quickly.
So I'm going to take you through the process.
So now we have milk there.
We have the milk here. I'm using an evaporated milk for this. You could use any kind of milk. You could use dairy milk. You could use non-dairy milk.
You can use nut milk. Depending on what.
Your powder milk could also suffice.
Okay, just mix it with water, right?
Just mix it with water. Just make sure your water is not For this,
Is this measured?
measuring is not actually. But you could use a cup. And you can also say, I have water.
Yeah,
on the side. So just to make sure that when I check the consistency, is that the word?
Yes.
And then if it's not too thick, I would.
Yes, okay, yes. And if you need water, you just add it.
For our buttermilk, we'll be using our milk and then our lemon juice. I said earlier you could use your vinegar if you want.
Yes. Okay.
Either would go for. So you just stir. So we have our buttermilk.
Simple, like nothing crazy happening. Awesome. Okay, so now what happens after this?
So we'll start by mixing our dry ingredients.
Okay, so we want to mix our dry ingredient now, and we're using this pot.
Yes.
For that process.
So we have our flour going first.
Already measured. How many cups?
3 cups.
3 cups of flour. Amazing. And this will actually give you 8 fluffy pancakes. 8 to 10 fluffy pancakes. Depending on the size, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
So we have our baking powder. All dry ingredients
go together.
So we have 2 tablespoons of baking powder here.
Okay.
So we'll just dust that in as well.
So 2 tablespoons for 3 cups.
So I said earlier, your sugar is.
You want to stir it? Okay.
Yes. Cover it. Doesn't need air.
It doesn't need air. Okay, so you cover it up.
So the sugar is optional. If you want to use it, so I just have a little go in there.
Yes. Okay.
Has to give it a bit. So you just mix together. So we also have our nutmeg. Of course, you know it's dry.
It's dry, so you grate it inside. Let me help with this. Yeah. Nice. I love nutmeg flavor in pancakes.
Some people want to use the nutmeg in the sachet one.
You don't advise? Really?
I don't advise. I prefer you use a fresh one.
Yeah, you think it has more flavor?
Yes,
okay, I mean, a lot is happening here, and of course, Chef Blossom is hard at work, so definitely what you need to do is keep on watching, because it's about the top of the hour, and we have to start this all over again. We'll be back after this break. And it's absolutely time for us to welcome you back once again on this show right here, your #1 family breakfast show in the planet. Sorry, on the planet.
Everywhere,
Yes.
Everywhere. And of course, it's the Wonder Women Wednesday edition of Wake Up Nigeria. And we are pumped. I want to rap.
I want to rap again.
Let me know rap. Before somebody comes after me.
But we're even more pumped by the fact that you chose to spend your morning with us and be a part of this experience. I mean, you do it every single day, and we do not take that for granted, so thank you.
Yeah, it's been a time of it so far, and we have so much more in store for you. So stick around, and we promise you a great time as always.
Definitely, but first, let's see what is happening in the kitchen briefly. Chef Blossom, those pancakes, they are good, Abby.
Yes,
They are coming together nicely.
Yes,
alrighty, that's all we need to hear.
We are just waiting to have the taste. And we know you always have something fantastic for us.
Absolutely.
Chef Blossom is always on point,
Always
so
on point.
we can't wait for these pancakes to be ready. All right, of course, you know you can stream the show live at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect. And be sure to send us your comments on social media at TVC Connect using the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms.
Yep, and you can also download the TVC app on both Android and iOS stores for on-the-go access.
That's right, and of course, we still have the Wake Up Nigeria Cookout. That's something to look forward to this month. So send in your 2 minutes cooking video tagging at TVC Connect and using the hashtag Wake Up Nigeria Cookout. And guess what? You stand a chance. You stand a chance.
I don't say I win inside this competition.
You stand a chance of winning 100,000 naira. That's a lot.
Yes, that is.
I can imagine the things I could do with that money right now.
Petrol.
Let me just give it #1. Yes, like 20,000 naira.
Okay, so let's get on with what we have left on the show.
Of course, we kick off things with relationship, where we'll be discussing Valentine's Day and how it affects mental health, and that will be with Dr. Tolulope Okogari. From there, we move on to a chat with Sil, who is a singer, songwriter, and guitarist. She loves telling stories about love and life through her songs. Can't wait for that one.
Definitely.
Nice.
God, I love the sound of her voice, though.
Yeah.
Really lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay. Now, there's so much that happened on Monday. You know, so many different posts going out there. Some people were doing compare and contrast with the gifts that they got. It was just so much energy around Valentine's. And I couldn't wait to gist with you ladies about it. But maybe after what MM has to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
about Valentine's Day?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
MM has nothing to say.
No, MM always has. Okay, I thought you had something you wanted to talk about.
No, like
Okay.
you caught her unaware.
You were looking at me.
No, because I'm paying attention
It's
to
paying
you.
attention to you.
Yeah, so yeah, the Chef Stone happened, yeah, where he was charging $1,000 for, you know, couples Valentine's dinner at this restaurant which he just opened up in Abuja.
Yeah.
And it caused quite an uproar on social media. Everyone was like, yay, what you ordered versus what you got, because, you know, prior to the opening of the restaurant, there was a particular, you know, picture of another restaurant that he posted.
Okay.
And, you know, and then when pictures of the restaurant after its opening was released on social media, everyone was like, this is absolutely it absolutely looks nothing like, you know, what we're saying. And, you know, but it was a 5-course meal. There were live performances. People complained about how it was constantly rowdy, like it looks like the staff were more than, you know, the actual guests.
Oh,
there was just so much going on. And it just begs the question, the, you know, cancel culture, you know, all around us. From, you know, brands to individuals, like, guys, if you have $1,000 to pay for a good time, pay for it. If you have the money, go ahead. If they give you lesser than you expect, well.
So that's where I actually come in. I'm going to come in now because I actually feel like, yeah, you were willing to drop $1,000 to go somewhere. You had expectations, but it's business. Like, he showed you what he was offering, and you paid for it. So, hey, whatever you got on that day,
and then they also
you paid for it.
So the guests also got hampers, you know, to go.
So they even went home with hampers.
They went home with hampers.
So no, I think the main problem was the fact that a picture went out, right? And then they said, okay, fine, what they saw after the experience was not the same. Now, my question is, when the picture went out, did he say, this is my restaurant?
I don't know.
Do you understand? Did he actually outrightly say, okay, fine, this is my restaurant? Do you understand? So I feel it's just, it depends. And of course, when you do like a restaurant and you charge $1,000, we are Nigerians who will complain.
Everybody always has something to complain about.
$1,000 is 600,000.
It's fine.
No, just say.
Valentine is coming. Where's your boyfriend? You are sitting alone. Okay, your Valentine's Day is gone. But our relationship today, we will be talking about Valentine's Day and how it affects one's mental health. And today, to do justice to that, is Dr. Tolulope Okoye-Gary. She is a couples and sex therapist, mental health practitioner, and clinical therapist. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm awesome.
You look awesome.
Thank you.
Now, Valentine's Day has come and it has gone. And some people were without booze. Some people became booeless on that day. Some people got gifts and some people did not. And then people who didn't, who saw, you know, so much activities happening around them, became depressed, became sad. Now, let's talk about how to avoid and overcome some of these things, you know, where it doesn't affect our mental health so much.
Yeah, I mean, you are right about it. The interesting part is Valentine, it's an imported, you know,
tradition or celebration.
It's a celebration. It's not our thing. Naturally, Africans are not romantic.
Yeah.
You know, African men consider romance, financial provision and protection is romance for an average African man. So it's not our thing. So you now see we now, you know, all this thing now being imported into, you know, Africa, and then we want to act like the West and not knowing that these things actually come with implications. So for us as Africans, I'm not sure anybody, I don't think the concept of Valentine depression is something something we are even aware of. It's something that is very popular in the West, that they know they are aware of it, and they put measures in place. You know, probably when Valentine is coming, you talk to your therapist, you try to tidy up your environment, tidy up, you know, your mental, you know, environment, mental state, to make sure that all of these things are not getting into you. But here we are. Everything we just allow everything to come upon us without putting all of these things into considerations, but they come with consequences. People that, if you notice your colleagues at work yesterday, you might actually be seeing certain things. Because if you know, this thing actually affects us, affect the way we relate with people, affect the way we perform at work. I mean, people, you are having the, you know, the fear of missing out, the stigmatization that you are single, you are seeing all the paparazzis on social media, your parents are mounting pressure on you, the society is mounting pressure on you. How do you cope with all of that, right? So too many things are trying to mess up with your head, and at the end of the day, you are not even conscious. That's the worst part of it.
So what can we do to not fall, you know, prey to some of this pressure that's around us?
So what do we do? The first thing is to be aware. We need to be aware that there is something that is called Valentine depression. As a matter of fact...
Valentine's depression?
Yes. As a matter of fact, you know, according to research, suicide around the world is highest in the month of April.
Really?
Yes. And it is believed that it's as a result of the, you know, of the feedback from Valentine. You know, people get depressed during Valentine, and then they try. You know, suicide is not something you just wake up in a day and say, I want to build up. So they build up that negative energy. They build it up from Valentine, and then around April, you see people now trying to carry out, you know, what happened, you know, the implications of what happened during Valentine. So what should you do? Back to your question, the first thing is to be aware that these things actually have implications on your mental health, right? So as soon as Valentine is coming, you can start preparing yourself. You know, prepare yourself mentally. Don't put yourself in spaces where you're going to get affected. Avoid social media if you can. Watch, you can go to YouTube and watch comedy, right? Things that could actually lighten you up. And you can begin to plan a date with your single friends, yeah? Instead of trying to be feeling like, oh, you are not, you are missing out. You know, plan a date with your single friend. You can do self-talk. You know, self-talk is a way of probably psyching yourself. You know, talk to yourself, I'm beautiful, I'm capable. I know that the society is not even helping at all, you know, because the society just wants to, no matter how successful you are, as long as you are not married or in a relationship, you feel like it's okay to be single. It's okay. It's okay. So all of those things are the things you begin to talk to yourself, you know, psych yourself and say, you know what, it's okay. I mean, talk about the beautiful things that you have in your life. You can practice gratitude, right? You can begin to practice gratitude journal. Maybe like 5 days, 10 days to Valentine, begin to write 5 things you are grateful for in your life. So when you get to that period, you have something to fall back on. And then you can also count on your support system. Friends, family. It might be a good time to even go and meet your parents and spend some time with them if they are not going to be the one to say, where's your husband?
Where are your gifts?
Right? So those are a few things I think you could do. And as much as possible, make sure you have a therapist.
I saw a research recently that talked about ads being one of the elements or one of the things that contributes to Valentine's depression. Yes, you know, because it's constantly in your face. So there are those constant reminders that, oh, I am single. And what do you think I'm talking, for example, because I feel like I have a role to play. So, for example, if I'm married and I have a single friend and I'm getting gifts from my significant other and she isn't, what can I do to help her? What role can I play? What role do you think the society can play in regards to also, you know, helping, you know, people, you know, from not falling victims of Valentine's pressure?
What the society can do, one of it is what we are doing now. Create awareness, understanding that these things are not, you know, we don't even care about our mental health. We think we are we have thick skin Africans. That's what we say. You know, so we don't even understand all of this. So the understanding has to be, I'm not sure a lot of us, a majority of us has ever heard about Valentine depression.
Yeah.
So now you are aware. So you have to be conscious. Even the married people are even people that are in a relationship are even having this problem. Because we also have pressure of how do I say, oh, look at this one is buying rate, this one, even performance anxiety, you know. So because you just want to make sure that Valentine period, so just be sensitive. Be sensitive that these things are deeper than this. Other people could actually be affected.
Thank you.
For media, for individuals,
so we need to
sensitive.
be each other's brother's keeper, in other words. Thank you so much, Ms. Tolu. It's always a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for
Valentine's depression. That's something that people have learned today. This conversation will continue on social media. At TVC Connect, you can also tag Ms. Tolu at
Dr. Tolu,
Dr. Tolu the Fixer. Yes. And of course, if you have any other questions, she'll answer them.
Amazing. Okay, so I'm still here with Chef Blossom.
Yes,
Definitely enjoyed that performance. And yeah, I just want to quickly show you that we have our dry ingredients and wet ingredients all mixed up. Yes. So now she wants to show us how to fry it, right? We've actually done some already. So you see them looking fresh and lovely. So what do we need to do? What's the first thing to do?
So you just take some butter.
A little
very
butter.
Little, yes.
Okay, so just a little butter
in the pan.
Yes, we've done that already.
Yes,
and then we just put a little
some batter.
Okay, some batter in the pan.
In the pan.
Okay, oh, they said they are done using me.
Wow.
And we have Titi on the couch with Sil with the amazing voice.
Now, we have to give a sneak peek at what was going to be happening in the kitchen at the end of the show, but right now we move on to chat with the amazing Sil. You heard her voice just now performing to that beautiful song, but then she's not just a singer, she's also a songwriter and a guitarist. She's also the founder of the songwriters community, am I right?
Yes.
Goodness me. When it comes to writing songs, you, girl, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Honestly, it's great to have you once again. I know we've had you before, but I feel like so much has happened since the last time you came on the show.
Yeah, a lot of things have happened actually. I've been working. I went back to working on my EP that is going to drop around April. I've also been trying to like interact more with my fans. Like now we have a WhatsApp group where we like just plan and
so I'm collecting the link to that group.
It's a very intense place. Like those guys are wild, but like I love them.
I love the energy you put into your work. I've been looking out for you online. But the songwriters community, I'm actually surprised there wasn't one before now.
Yeah, I was surprised
you were surprised,
too, actually.
Right?
Because,
Talk about that.
I'm very passionate about songwriting. Like, I think I'm even more passionate about songwriting than being an artist. So I figured that like the Nigerian songwriting space is not very tapped. Like, there's a lot of potential there, but like most people don't see it. And I think it's growing now. Like, people are getting their accolades from songwriting. People are earning from songwriting, but then people don't even know who songwriters are. So if you say, where can I find songwriters? You don't have any hub or anything like that. So I figured that I could like, attract people like myself, and then we just grow together. So basically what we do is just like, because one of the ways that you can like grow as a songwriter is by continuously writing and building your confidence, because it's mostly about confidence. So that is like a training ground.
So right now you could also likely be acting as like an agency or an academy for songwriters, because I feel like you have a what's the word?
Exceptional.
Exceptional, beautiful, exceptional songwriting skills. The way you put that song together, you mix different languages. You mixed Pidgin English with English, and I even heard some native language in there as well.
Yeah.
But making it work, how do you even begin to make it work?
Well, I think first you have to make people like as passionate as you are. Like, you have to get them to the point where they want to write every time. Like, I met an 18-year-old 2 years ago that used to write every day. Like, people like that will go far. He's the one, I think he wrote songs in Ariasta's EP, the first EP, and even her album. So, like, you just have to, like, make them engaged, and some people get discouraged. They'll be like, oh, I don't even see where this is headed, but you push them a little, and, I mean, you get the best out of them.
Is there money in this?
Yes, definitely.
A
Why
lot
not?
of money, or it's okay?
Well,
money?
like I said, it's a growing industry.
Okay.
And the potentials are there, obviously. Like, you have to like know how to like navigate it. You have to like know how to put yourself out there and not to get, you know, burnt out in the process of just saying, oh, because I'm passionate, you won't like charge or you wouldn't do the right paperwork so that you get royalties.
Okay. Now, I know that you you are part of Loud Choir, the Loud Choir, right?
Shout out to Loud, yes.
Loud, yeah. There are a lot
Loud
of
Choir.
amazing singers in that particular choir.
Yeah.
I didn't realize the powerful voices in there until I actually really looked attentively. And you guys did a cover of Ozumba Mbadiwe.
Yes, and also Arya Star's Bloody Samaritan. That was the one that
That
blew.
was the one that blew.
Yes.
The choir that did a cover of Bloody Samaritan was you guys.
Yes.
What? Like, what?
That was us, yeah.
Okay, so now, after that kind of energy has been pushed, you know, into music with you, does it feel like there's a lot of pressure to keep putting out major hits?
There's definitely a lot of pressure. Like, people want, they're always asking you, when are you dropping a new song? I just like, especially now that they are closer to me, they're on the same WhatsApp group. I literally get that message every day. When are you dropping a new song? When are you dropping a new song? And I'm like, guys, very soon. Like, that's the best answer I can give, because if you even start putting a timeline to it, they will remind you. They'll be like, you said you're going to drop it so and so day. Where is it?
Okay.
So, like, there's that pressure, but then you need to know that I like to, like, pace myself. So I'm very focused on putting out quality music. I'm very, very, very particular about the mix sounding right. So there's a lot of processes that go into it, and I don't compromise. So, yeah.
I can see that you don't compromise on your quality, and in terms of character, you're still the same loving energy that we had last time. You know, some of you artists would like to change after you. After a hit like that, you know, especially the one with the choir, you've been wondering what to do next.
Yeah.
So what does come next after something like that?
So like, it's the same quality. Like, it's not going to drop, and obviously time will be put into the EP that I'm working on.
Yeah.
I'm also creating content around the EP, definitely.
Okay.
I've also added skills along the way. Like, I can now edit videos myself, like on a laptop, not like phone. so like, there's that, and that's also making my work more like better. Like, there's more quality definitely into that. So I mean, look forward to the EP.
Honestly, when I see you, I feel like the future of music is bright. I love what you're doing. We all love you here at Wake Up Naija. In fact, we love you so much, we are taking you to the kitchen again this morning. Winfrey is standing by with Mary in the kitchen. All right, let's come to
All right, you guys have too many in this kitchen.
wow.
I don't want to share my.
We're not giving you. Don't worry. The show is over. Go home.
Blossom says, Winfrey says she's not giving you breakfast.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we not steal this breakfast? Try yourself.
Just because your voice is sweet. Just because. Okay, so we're here with Chef Blossom. She literally made us plain pancakes with a lovely cup of, what's that?
Hot cocoa.
Hot cocoa.
Okay.
So are you ready to go in?
Yes.
Do you like pancakes?
Yes. A lot, actually.
A lot. Oh, nice. Oh, okay. So can we go? You can grab me.
Okay.
So, yeah, let's go.
The journey has begun.
Yeah. Okay, so now
I know
you've been
you
here
are
before
home,
now.
and you.
So you know the drill, right?
Yeah.
So taste it and
I'm
let us
not going
know.
to have.
What do you want to
You
give?
have not even finished the one in front of you.
Yes.
do that, okay?
Drizzle, 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 drizzle. Remember, a nutritionist told us not too much honey.
Too much, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You guys want me to eat in layers or?
Anyone you want to
Anyone
do?
you want.
I think I'll
Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'll do layers. I like layers.
This comment that is long coming, eh?
This what?
She
We are
has to
waiting.
arrange it now properly so that, you know, she can give
Oh, I'm having breakfast on. Wake up.
Nigeria, yes. We take good care of you.
I've never tried honey. This is not bad at all.
Uh-huh. So do you like it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Chef Blossom.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of the show today.
Yeah.
Thanks to the crew, thanks to the contributors, and thanks to you two for watching. Hi, Titi. I know you can't wait to join us
back
here.
again, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, y'all. Make sure you tune in.
Yep. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Same time, same station. Bye.